everybody, and welcome to this, and this will be my review of DDT4, which is kind of funny because Nightmare Baller and Santa's Robin also put up their reviews of the same show today. It's kind of funny. The end of this will be a bonus little review for MB Wrestler had his first match. He asked me to review it, so I told him long ago I would review it, so at the end of this, I'm going to review that, so just so everybody knows. But this is a review for PWG's DDT4. I talked about it in my last video and figured I might as well just go ahead and review this thing. I've been wanting to do it for a while and just hadn't gotten around to it. As most people know, I'm not the biggest PWG fan in the world, and it has a lot to do with the crowd. I know that's not fair to the guys, and that's not fair necessarily to the promotion, but it annoys me to no end to just have the fans sit there and basically just kind of pop. It's not even like they're intent on watching it. It's just kind of, often it's like, well, I got nothing better to do, so I'll go watch a wrestling show and just sit there and watch it. You know, to me. That's probably not fair, and I know that's not to every show, but it just annoys me to no end because it just, I often see these matches, and it's hard for me, for whatever reason, to get into those matches. So, that's why, that's just my, it's not, has nothing to do with, because I do think they put on good shows. It's why I don't do reviews of them, because I don't feel like I would do a good job reviewing them because of that. I don't think that I would, you know, give them the credit they would deserve. That said, the crowd for this show was very good, and that made the show much better for me. Also, there was literally lots of good stuff, lots of great stuff on this pay-per-view, on this DVD. A great night of wrestling, in my opinion. Just overall, just great. You know, you had the PWG zaniness, I guess is what I would call it. It's kind of just PWG's kind of comedy, which I think works to a degree. And probably not for everybody, but I think for most people would at least get it. So there was that. Commentary, if you've never gotten the PWG DVD before, the commentary is different, without a doubt. It's like a weird takeoff. If you've ever seen Chikara commentary, which is far better, I think Chikara commentary is some of the best in wrestling. Period. This is definitely not to that degree, but they try to do kind of the same type of thing, and it's just kind of hit or miss for me. Some guys are good at it, some guys aren't. Some guys try to be overly funny. Some guys are just kind of, you know, it just doesn't usually work for me. But you know, that's beside the point. Other than that, let's get started here. We had Scott Lost and Joey Ryan taking on Bryan Danielson and Roderick Strong. Really good match, without a doubt. Not very long, but for what was there, it was really good. Hard hitting, just pretty much non-stop, just action, to be honest, in this match at the start. Really good opener, got the crowd into it. Was really, really good. Kind of set up the rest of the night, so that was good. Next we had Kenny Omega and Chuck Taylor taking on, who are great together, I must say, taking on Human Tornado and Scorpio Sky. This was good. You know, like I said, Kenny Omega and Chuck Taylor are very good off with each other. They work well off of each other in a very zany, crazy PWG kind of way. So that was good. Most people have seen Chuck Taylor and Chikara, so most people are aware of him. Definitely not doing the same type of character, really kind of doing kind of a takeoff of that, and Kenny Omega being just zany Kenny Omega. So that was that, and Human Tornado being Human Tornado. I don't know why he's not in ROH. Just don't know. Scorpio Sky, you know, Scorpio Sky's a pretty good guy, so overall you had a good match, not a great match, just a good 3-star match in my opinion. Next we had Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, taking on the Cutler brothers. I'd never seen the Cutler brothers before, but these guys worked very well with the Young Bucks, without a doubt, and you know, was really surprised. Usually when you see guys you've never seen before with guys you have, usually it doesn't turn out really well. This was really good. I would imagine these guys have probably wrestled each other sometime before, and was pretty impressed with everybody here. The Young Bucks have been pretty much the best tag team around the world. Tag team wrestling has been that great this year. That's not to take anything away from the Young Bucks, but they're, but they've been amazing. You probably have to find someone in Dragon Gate, one of the teams in Dragon Gate, to find someone that would probably be better than them, and that's saying something because Dragon Gate is pretty much tag team oriented. So that was that. That led to the next match, which was the Young Bucks' younger brother making his debut, I think is what they said, taking on Phoenix Star. I think Los Luchas was supposed to be, they were supposed to be on the show. Was it Zilkris, I think is his name, was hurt, so they took him off. So instead we got this. This was okay. It wasn't anything horrible. It was spotty, but it wasn't anything bad. It was just kind of there. It was an okay match. Gave it 2 stars. There we go. Then we had the Young Bucks take on Kenny Omega versus Chuck Taylor. This was entertaining as hell. This was funny. Lots of fast-paced, kind of sloppy at times, but I think that overall it was extremely entertaining. This is one of those matches that was just entertaining, and you could probably watch again and again and kind of overlook a lot of the faults to the match. I give this 3 3/4 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and definitely recommend it. Checking out. Then we got Bryan Danielson and Roderick Strong taking on Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. You know this match didn't suck. You know this match was great, just for the people that are on it. And not just because the people were on it, because it was freaking awesome. I enjoyed this match to no end. It's pretty much what you would expect. Bryan Danielson and Roderick Strong being, Bryan Danielson being Bryan Danielson, Motor City Machine Guns being the Motor City Machine Guns, Roderick Strong thrown in there, putting on a really good performance as well. Just hard-hitting, just wow, is all I could say about that. Then we had the PWG Championship match of Chris Hero taking on Joey Ryan. This is one thing I've noticed about PWG, something they do, at least something in my mind that they do. Maybe they don't do this. Maybe people that watch them more often can tell me, no, they don't. I'm seeing something that's not really there, but often on a lot of the shows I've seen, they'll have a match like this, which is kind of like a match that maybe theoretically should go long, but is basically a match going long to go long, and that's kind of what we had here. We had a match just go long, just to go long, it felt like, because it was, try to give some importance to the title. So we're going to have the match go long, but the match suffers because of it, and that's what we had here. It was, I'll give it 2 3/4 stars, but it's nothing anyone's going to remember, so there was that. Then we had the main event, the end of the night, the Young Bucks versus Roderick Strong and Bryan Danielson. Match of the night, in my opinion, which is awesome because main event should be match of the night. Awesome stuff. The guys worked really well. Again, when I watched this show, this is the show that really sold me that the Young Bucks had arrived without question. Are they up to the level, like some people have said, to what the Briscoes were in 2007? I don't know. I wouldn't quite say that because those matches the Briscoes put on in 2007 were freaking amazing often. And the Young Bucks put on great matches. They don't necessarily always put on amazing, just jaw-dropping matches often. So I think that's the difference. Could they get there? They could. But this was, they were in there with 2 legit pros, in my opinion. And everything worked really well. I loved this. 4.5 stars. Just awesome stuff. What more can I say about this show? There was only 2 matches that weren't at least good. And one of them was just kind of a filler match. And the world title matches went long just to go long. And really, that's the only negative I could say about this whole show, is that the crowd was good, which is something that I don't usually say. It was kind of strange. There were very PWG light. There were some production snafus during this, but nothing totally horrible. Nothing that nothing that I would say we hadn't seen in TNA to a large degree. So I can't really degrade them that much. But overall, just an awesome show, and I would definitely recommend getting this. I would give this a 9.5, in my opinion, as an overall show. I would say that once the Dragon Gate pay-per-view DVD comes out, this will probably be better than that DVD. because I know some of the matches that are going to be on the DVD aren't up to maybe this level. So I definitely think there is that. This was just an awesome. Just this is probably my favorite PWG show ever, and that's not saying a lot coming from me, but this was just awesome stuff. Now to the kind of the bonus material that we're gonna do. As I said, MB had his first match. He posted it up, parts of it up on YouTube. You can go to his page. I'll probably link it in the because that's definitely the video I think you should see, because it's a really good video, and I'll get into that. But most of the match, but he also put it on his other account too, which he has a link on the video to that where you can watch it. It was his first match. He wanted me to review it, so I said I would. Overall, for being his first match, and definitely being, I would say probably the guy he wrestled, it was probably maybe his second or third match. There wasn't anything glaring. There wasn't anything that was horrible. If I was to truly just nitpick at the match, it wouldn't have anything maybe to do with those guys except for a couple of things. It would have to do with the way the match was laid out, because I really felt like they probably didn't do enough mat work, particularly since they were both big guys. I mean, most people have seen how big MB is. This Tank was Alverado, I think is his name, was just as big as MB. And so you had two big guys in there, and I probably would have done the match a little different. But that has nothing so much to do with them. I would say, but that would be my biggest complaint, is that they just didn't do what I would think a big man match, even for two guys, relatively inexperienced guys. Overall, I thought the match was what it was. It wasn't. It was. I wouldn't say it was okay. It was still, I'd say, below average, but it wasn't horrible. MB, you could tell he hurt his leg trying to look like, he said he was supposed to counter a slam. He landed wrong. You definitely could tell. But he quickly got back up and kept going, so that was good. The only thing I would say, MB, is he was a little too excited. He tried a little too hard to probably maybe get the fans into it, but I think that's just inexperience. But overall, I thought the match was definitely, I would go check it out. There's, I think the whole match is maybe about, the whole video is maybe about 10, 15 minutes, maybe about 10 minutes, and with entrances and all of that. So overall, I thought, definitely you could tell that there's stuff there. He knows how to interact with the crowd, which is good. You could definitely tell that. I think he had his mom there. She was being very loud and being very mommy, but that was good. The crowd seemed to just get into him very well, so that was good. The other guy he was taking was wrestling, really didn't get very, was kind of, I think MB was supposed to be the face, and this other guy was supposed to be heel, but he didn't act very heelish. Like I said, and it was a lot of, old big man, splashes, slams, that sort of thing, but not a lot of stuff to the ground. That was probably my only really gripe to the matches. There wasn't a lot of ground stuff, a lot of mat wrestling, even for big guys type thing. I think they could have used a little bit of that, but it was what it was. I've definitely, seeing some of the local indies around here, I've definitely seen worse. I've seen worse from guys who have been wrestling for at least 2 or 3 years. So I definitely would say he is ahead of the curve, and it'll be fun to watch him if you're in the area. And I think he has posted up on his newest video the next show he's going to be at. And if that's the case, I'd recommend anyone that's going to be in the area, just go check him out. Just go support him by going to the show and having fun. I'm sure it's a night of wrestling. If you've never been to an indie show and a small indie show and never really seen what it's like, I definitely would check out, and hey, you can go see MB wrestle. So a 1.5 I will give that, because like I said, it was still below average, but it wasn't anything. I've definitely seen far worse. I've seen far worse on WWE pay-per-views. I've seen far worse on TNA pay-per-views. I've seen far worse all over the place. And and I did enjoy myself watching it, so I will say that. So without a doubt, that is that. With that, I'm out. Have a good one.